Rob, game week again, Newcastle Falcons away. A bit different to normal, having to drive up there, but your thoughts ahead of it, especially coming off the back of a great result at Worcester?
Yeah, I think we're looking forward to it. I mean, this is, everyone needs to remember we're rugby players, we're a rugby team, we're a rugby club, and that means you play games of rugby, and you work hard at it, and you make sure you enjoy the challenges. And last week, I actually was really looking forward to the game, and that may sound a bit strange because obviously we weren't what you call on great form. Obviously, an internationals coming and going, and some challenges around things, but. I've kind of felt the lads have been good and, better than probably the two score lines in the last games have shown. And we had a really good couple of weeks where we had a good sit down, good clear the air. Lads really bought into things, been very positive around training. And I have to say, and I actually said this to the lads, I'm more proud of our performance against Worcester than I actually am in some of the early season performances where we scored a lot of points. Because I looked at our physical scores, basically meaning how hard we were prepared to work, and they were fantastic, through the roof compared to anything else this season. And that says to me that those lads have reset themselves, and it wasn't a perfect performance, but we never asked for perfect performance. But we do ask for a great attitude, an attitude to show that you personally, it means a lot to you and you want to win the game. And when I read the physical scores out to the lads, they were fantastic. They were some of the best we've seen for quite a while. And that, to me, like I said, that's a prouder thing to see as a coach than anything else, because you see in your team you want to work really hard. And winning or losing, that happens. But the one thing that you really want from your lads is to work hard, and they were prepared to do that. And that's purely the reason we won the game. Because if you don't prepare to work hard, you don't win games of rugby. You just don't in the Premiership, because teams are good. And I'm just so pleased that the result of all that hard work came through with a tough, if unspectacular win. But I do think people probably, maybe, if they look at the score, probably won't realise quite what Worcester contributed to it, because Worcester were tough on the day and scored, one particularly, very good try. And they stopped us, and they put enough pressure on us to stop us converting in 2 or 3 opportunities that we would normally expect to convert from. And so I think, for me, it's felt like a really good step forward. It felt like we've got a really good, hard-working bunch of honest players here that gives us a foundation to do everything from. We'll have some ups and downs, we'll have some wins and losses, but the one thing we know is we've got a hard-working crew here.
Recent times tell us that Newcastle are formidably strong, especially at home. They have a similar DNA to us in a lot of ways. What are you expecting from them at the weekend?
Well, a bit like you say. I mean, I think they're not stupid at Newcastle, and there's, probably like ourselves, we've done a fair bit of research into what's successful, what the high percentage plays, how do you create pressure on the opposition, and they've taken a fair bit of that on board. They've got a good 5-metre game. They'll do their tap and goes as we started to do a little while ago. They're finding ways of doubling up that pressure, and on top of that, I personally think they carry the ball well. The forwards like to run onto the ball and get the momentum. I think that's another key area they seem to have got a real good handle on. So there's going to be a real nice gain line confrontation. It's going to be really important. We've discussed that a lot. And as you said before, the games at Newcastle are very similar to games at Worcester. I can never really remember playing a game there where we sat there with 20 minutes to go, feeling comfortable, and you roll your bench on and that type of stuff. That's not what Premiership games are like. They're tough, and you need to decide to be tough and work hard and take your opportunity. Work hard to take your opportunities and create your opportunities and weather the storm a bit. And that's what we're expecting. It's going to be a cold, almost certainly snowy day. It's going to be a really interesting challenge for us, and it's one I'm expecting us to fully relish.
You're minus a few of your international boys on Six Nations duty, but an opportunity for others to step up now.
Yeah, but this is what a squad's about. This period, I think, is a really good period for us, because you'll probably see some guys really grow now. I think it's just such a good opportunity for some of the senior players in particular who are here and not yet taken, not been taken by their countries, but are close internationals. Guys like Alec Hepburn, guys like Sam Skinner. Some of our other guys who a lot of people think are on the fringes of England. So your Simmons boys. I think Dave Ewers was outstanding last week. He must be banging on the door for form of one of England's best back rowers. Some of these things, they are really, really important for these lads. And I just want to see them grow and thrive and drive their qualities and move this team forward. Ollie Devoto, and you think how close he was or has been to England caps recently. You start to move through the side, and there's a lot of quality there. I think both our wingers, they've genuinely been bang on form players. You know what I mean? I think you work, as I say, as you work your way through the side, you've got to go, come on, some of these guys can really lead us. They really can. Jack Morton's now dropped out of the EPS squad, but he's growing as a person with us, growing as a leader and growing as a player. And that's what I'm seeing. I want to see those guys thrive. I want to see the guys who are maybe making their way in the squad start to climb on board that and not just be happy with game time, but decide to be winners and help us win and be key players for us. You're seeing that in the last few games with Richard Capstick. You watch him play against Worcester, and I didn't think that looked like a guy who was just happy to have game time and just thought this is part of my journey. That looked like a guy who was desperate to contribute to us winning a game of Premiership Rugby. And that's what I want to see from the young players or the squad players with less experience coming in. They're going to contribute to a win, and they're going to play in a way that contributes to winning. And that's a bit of a step up from often when you first get game time, because sometimes it's an A-League game, sometimes it's a Premiership Cup game, and the focus is not always just on winning. It's a little bit about, can I perform well enough personally to maybe get a shot in the Premiership? It's not about that now, it's about performing well enough to win.